IVM.
Hello one, hello all, welcome to the Diary of the Traveling Professor. And this is Siddharth Deshmukh, your friendly neighborhood traveling professor himself. And on this chilly October evening, as I sit in London and watch the leaves turn really red, brown, and all those wonderful colors of fall, I can't help but think about the Tanishq jewelry ad. And I wonder if, nature made jewelry, it would look like it was on trees. But I'm just being romantic. I'm also thinking quite seriously about the Tanishq ad. A lot of it, has already been written, spoken about. In fact, I got an interview call from the Business Standard and I've been quoted as, somebody saying that perhaps they should have made the ad for the right target group instead of making it like, for everybody who are going to get irked by the ad. And I thought perhaps I have not said it enough. I was quoted for the article and that's great for the ego, but I just thought that maybe I need to make a clean breast of it and speak about what I think about the Tanishq ad in all its glory. Well, here's what I feel. I think that in no small measure, advertising or any kind of communication should be shot down by an irate set of goons, whether they are coming from the far left or the far right or representing any religion. I think that the ad had nothing offensive about it. The ad had nothing untoward about it. It was not stating anything in poor faith or poor light, and I think it should have been celebrated as an act of love, and it was just done like an orchestrated attempt, in my opinion, to just bring down something and create some hooliganism. But having said that, I do feel that I didn't like the ad too much myself. Okay, I thought the ad came across as a very staged ad, a fakish kind of setting, a very Saas Bahu kind of setting, typical cues explaining who's a Hindu and who's a Muslim and all of that. But it didn't come across as something that actually happened in real life or the real world. It did come across as something which came out of a Karan Johar film or something around those lines. And I just thought, okay, maybe they're trying to make it aspirational. Not the best ad I've seen, but certainly their heart was in the right place. Now, having kind of talked about what I feel about the ad, I'm not trashing the ad, but I'm saying it's not particularly a great ad, but it's decent, Nothing wrong about it, certainly nothing offensive about it. I just thought that I had an idea that I could share, which perhaps I can add to the pot. I know I've heard of a lot of people give advice to the Tanishq brand manager or talk about how it was all a conspiracy to get the right kind of attention for Tanishq and the Tata Group and the rest of it. And imagine if the situations were reversed and what would have happened. And I don't want to get into that. What I do want to say is, I think interfaith marriages and religious marriages should be celebrated like any marriage that is out of love. And how about if Tanishq actually identifies interfaith or interreligion marriages and celebrates them with a token of love from Tanishq, maybe just a token, a small little pendant for them to celebrate their love for each other. And then it would probably solve the problem that I've been mentioning, which is, keep it real, guys. It came across as a fakish kind of ad. But if you identify, let's say, 10 people all across the country who have married each other in spite of each other's faith and, or the opposition that might have come with it, you might be in a situation wherein you are making the Tanishq brand rise above everything else that is coming across in its wake, and literally stand for a different set of rules and a different standard. How about it, Tanishq? That's free advice to you from the traveling professor. And I feel that if you actually go for this advice, you will be lauded. You will be lauded like nobody else from the target audience that you want to get connected to, the liberal thinking, forward thinking, progressive people that you want to be associated with so that they can actually literally go for the modern jewelry that you espouse. Nike did this very successfully. Nike was supporting Black Lives Matter before it became a thing. When Colin Kaepernick took a knee during the national anthem a few years back, what Nike did was it certainly supported Colin Kaepernick which led to a lot of backlash for Nike, mind you, because, to be fair, there were some people who said, hey, I've lost a friend or a relative of mine during war, and how dare you support somebody who's going for attacking America and nationalism and the rest of it, patriotism. And they started burning Nike shoes. One of those shoes caught fire and created an even bigger fire. And that was a problem. That was a problem for Nike. But Nike did not go the typical PR route. What Nike did was that it actually showed through an ad how to burn a pair of Nike shoes in a safe and secure way. Of course, endearing themselves through their unconventional, out-of-the-box way of doing things to their target audience once again. And I think Tanishq actually has the ability to do that. Tanishq has the ability to make this a thing, to become a cultural icon by actually looking and touching base with reality instead of remaining in the la-la wonderland of made-up Karan Joharish sort of ads, right? Again, mind you, the ad is not bad, but it's not good either. I do feel that the idea is good though, and the idea can be really explored to its hilt, taking advantage of the momentum that it perhaps has both for it and against it, and therefore holding, the rest of society to a higher standard than what it is showing itself to be. What do you guys think about this idea? I don't know. I just thought that this is a completely different perspective. And while it may be a staged piece of acting when there were protests going on, or while it was true sentiments being heard, I don't even want to get into that. But what I do know is that we should celebrate true, pure forms of love which go beyond typical societal boundaries of, normal boorish behavior. Well, on that happy note, I'm going to just turn my head back to the garden view that I have and enjoy nature's beautiful jewelry as the leaves turn red, yellow, and golden. Until next time, then, do follow me on Instagram, where I'm the Traveling Professor, and on LinkedIn, where I'm the Traveling Professor again. What else? See you soon.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I want to remind our Tamil-speaking audience about the new show from Kadai Podcast. The previous season was Punyan Selvan. The new show that we're doing is Sivakamyan Sabata. Kavita Jiva, who's the host of the show, basically what she does is she retells these old classics in a modern idiom. I think you'll really enjoy that. Quickly running through some of the other guests that we had this week. Luke Coutinho showed up on Cyrus Says, where he and Cyrus had a great conversation about fitness and all things related to that. Rahul Dacuna was on Gauri Devi Dayal's show. This rounds on me. Again, great conversation around brands and things like that. Maruti Nayat had Kaveri Banzai on her show to discuss Sushant Singh Rajput's death and the effect it's going to have on Bollywood as it goes forward. Archana Vora, who is a director of small and medium businesses at Facebook, she was on Advertising is Dead, talking about the kinds of work that Facebook is doing with smaller businesses. And remember, Edges and Sledges continues its fan series. Do definitely check that out. And last, one final thing, that Cock and Bull this week was really interesting. Cyrus, Kunal Vijayakar, Gauri Devi Dayal, and myself spoke quite a bit about the restaurant industry and the challenges that they're facing in this pandemic. So do definitely check that out. I think you'll enjoy that. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
Do you have a night routine? Well, everyone has one. And the to-do list usually looks like this. Brush your teeth, set that alarm, get into your pajamas, and switch off those screens. But here's one more to add to that list. Tune into the Positively Unlimited podcast for a dose of positive action and tips on how to build powerful mindsets. Episodes out every Monday on the IVM Podcast app, ivmpodcast.com, or wherever you tune into podcasts.